I'm gonna start recording the meeting now. So basically, what I'm looking for is I strictly do trend trading. All right, and I'm looking for a signal bar, which I have an indicator that uh, gives me my alerts. Here's this indicator, gives me my alerts for when my moving averages are in line and are have retraced below the moving average, the first one, and then have broken above, closed above that moving average. So this is a 10, this is a 30. So what I'm looking for is
Are they, sorry, are they, do you use
go ahead.
your moving averages?
Yes,
FMAs or EMAs?
they're EMA,
Okay.
exponential moving averages. So basically what I'm looking for is um, a break of that moving average, the following candle to break it. As I'll give you an example here. This one here. So the candles will come down, broke below the 10, and now have come up and have closed above the 10. So as soon as it closes above the 10, the very next candle, if it breaks that candle, I will enter that trade long, as long as that's the trend that I'm in. Now I don't trade. I start trading here after Tokyo close, which is about 5 a.m. my time, and I'll only trade for a couple of hours, and then I'm done. So the only other trade that I take is I take what is the inside bar here. An inside bar is marked in the white, and there's outside bars marked in white. So basically, you know what an inside bar is, correct?
No.
An inside bar is what is inside the previous bar. So this bar closed inside this bar. An outside bar closed outside of the top and the bottom are
Oh,
out.
sorry, so inside is smaller than the whole of the previous candle,
Correct.
and an outside bar is taller and shorter.
Greater than greater than, yes. Correct.
But the top and bottom.
Yes, correct. So I will trade inside bars again, only in direction of trend. And I'll only take, now my rule of thumb is if it doesn't break on the first 3 candles, then I don't take the trade. The first candle is an 80 to 90% hit rate. The second candle is a 60 to 70% hit rate. The third candle, you're looking at roughly a 50% hit rate of success. So
Yes.
and I'll walk through the trades and I'll show you. So I'm going to just start F12 my screen here and move forward. Sorry, somebody just. So I'm going to F12. And what I'm looking for is this white line here is my daily open. Okay. I'll only trade away from the daily open. Unless it's like 50, 60 pips away from the daily open, I'll only trade away from the daily open. So when I come into my trades, so I won't be trading here yet. And let me get to where I will be trading, which is around, so there's midnight. Let me just refresh the screen here. So I'm going to come in. There's London. All right, so I'm just going to show you from when I come in. But if I was an example here, okay, there's London, there's the daily open. All my moving averages in an order. I got a signal bar here. I would enter when the next candle broke, and I'm going for 3 to 5 pips. No more, no less, 3 to 5. So here's the signal. I get an alert. I'm in on that candle, and my stop loss would be the previous swing high, which is here. Okay, so I would there's, there's my 3 pips. So I would have, if I was in at London Open, that would have been a successful trade. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of cheating because I can see it here. So here's an inside bar. I would enter that inside bar right here and 3 to 5 pips. So let me make a little channel here real quickly. Let me edit that. And I'll pull this one back and down, and I'll give myself, there's 3 pips. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move that. Every time that I see a signal over here, I'm going to move that and see what happens. So let's F12 this. Okay, so here's about when I start coming into the market, because it's Tokyo close. It's an hour after London. So I'm looking for shorts here because the trend is down.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I have an inside bar right here, if you can see it. So I'm going to take my channel and I'm going to move it down to that inside bar. Now remember, if it breaks on the next candle, I'm going to take it. It broke.
So you will only trade short if it's under the daily open.
Correct. Correct. So there's my entry. There's my entry right there. My stop loss would be up here. Previous swing, because this swing hadn't been created. So my stop loss on that would have been 12 pips. My take profit is 3 to 5. And boom, there I am. I'm out of the trade. 5 minutes later, I'm done the trade. I'm in and I'm out.
I mean, EU's a good one because it's got pretty much the smallest spread.
Yes, correct. So do you see that now? Okay, I got my signal, and now this is a signal and an inside bar, plus my stochastics had changed color and are below 50. So I'm good to. I'll take that short. Let's go find another one. So there's an outside bar.
Are stocks the only indicator you use?
I have what I call my thingy, which is it's a bit of a MACD with a few other, but I rarely use these. I just like them for. I have another indicator that helps me. It just tells me that everything is in order. So it'll paint yellow, or I don't have it on here at the moment. So, but yeah, that what you see on my chart is all I use.
Okay.
All right, so there's another signal bar. Here's a signal right here. I've got an alert. So let's see what, oops, F12. Move that out of the way. F12.
How do you get an alert?
Well, I had an indicator built that shows me this. Basically, the alert is these candles here moved up and closed above my 10 moving average. And then the next candle closed below the 10, giving me my alert.
So it's not to do with the inside bar?
No, this one here is an alert. Basically, if you look at the candles, right, this candle here, we had a pullback. This candle closed above the 10. This candle closed below the 10. That would be my entry. That's when I would get my alert on this candle, and then my entry would be on the previous candle as long as it broke. South, correct. Well, we only go with trend. All right, so F12. Let me see if I can do this now. Grab it, there it is. All right, and then I hit F12. I'm in that trade on that candle, and I'm out of it on the same candle. Boom. 5 minutes later, I'm out. Okay, now you could have stayed in that and could have went for more, but that's not how I trade. I'll trade 3 to 5 all day long. All right, so, and I get my 20 pips easy, my 20 to 30 pips. if I'm in here for 3 to 4 hours, I average between 80 and 160 pips every day.
Now, when you say 3 to 5, is it 3 or is it 5?
Well,
What is it that will take you back out of the trade if you've got to 3 or 4?
I'll get out at 3, but sometimes it hits 5. I'll get out at 3 I'll get out at 3, my average. But I'll also look, if I'm in a lot of trades, I'll also look at where my last swing highs and swing lows are, and where consolidation might be. Like so for an example here, this would be resistance right over here. So I would be looking at that, and I would be looking at this candle down here as the support. Sorry, the resistance line here. So I would make sure that I'm out well within that parameter, if that makes sense.
It does.
Okay, so let's see here. So we have an inside bar here. So let's see if we can move this down. Come on, where are you? Get on there. Channel. Okay, I'll take, this is sometimes the wrong way to deal with this, but all right.
Never a wrong way.
So if that candle breaks, I'll be in the trade. So there it is. It broke on the second, this one here. I'm in the trade.
Right.
And I'm out of the trade.
The small red line is the 10, isn't it?
The small red, this red line is the 10.
Yeah.
So since I've been here for half an hour, I've got 1 trade, 2 trades, 3 trades. So I'm up. I'm up 15 pips. Between 10 and between 9 and 15 pips.
So can you just recap? Sorry. When the next candle after a break goes down, you'll enter.
Correct. So my entry, so this is my signal candle, but this one didn't break it. You see? But this one did. So I will take this inside bar for up to this candle here, no further.
So what's your entry? Is your entry on the red candle next to it?
My entry would be at this black line right here. Let me just.
Oh, I see.
My exit.
At the beginning of the candle.
Basically, the top line is going to be my entry line. The bottom line is going to be my exit line. Okay.
Gotcha.
For this example.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So I have an inside bar here. Sorry, I just because it moved it on its own. So there was an inside bar there, and it broke, and it gave me my 3 pips. Sometimes I miss them, and next thing you know, I have to wait a little bit, and I'll take it here, because I'll look over, and I used to have an EA that just automatically took 3 all the time, but I like to control it myself. All right. So here I have an inside bar right there. That one right there is an inside bar. So how many trades did we get on this so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 15. I'm going to just keep a tally here. So 5. All right. And now we have an inside bar here. Now this inside bar is what I call in the squeeze. It's in between the 2 moving averages.
Yes. 10 and 30.
Right. So I'm very leery to take them when they're in the squeeze. If the inside bar is below the 10, no problem. If it's in between the 10 and the 30, it's a little bit more risk. However, the risk is not extreme, but it's there. So let's just see what we have here. Okay, so we did have a break, but again, it's in between the squeeze, so I probably would not be in that trade. Okay, but now I have a close below, so I have a signal candle there. So there's my signal candle. What's your pip value? I will
The
take
signal candle is the signal candle the blue candle?
the signal candle is the red candle that has the arrow on it.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Right at the edge of the screen.
Pardon me?
The one that's right at the edge of the screen.
Right. Because what happened is the previous candle closed above the 10. This candle this candle we're on right now closed below the 10. To answer your question, CS is I'll trade one full lot for up to 30 pips on one account, and then I move all my lot sizes down to a 0.10 if I continue to keep trading. I basically have a nut that I want to make sure I hit every day, which is 20 to 30 pips, and then anything after that goes into slush fund money, because I trade 3 different accounts.
What's the point of trading 3?
Well, it's just no, it's just something I've done probably for the last 5 years. Sean and I know a gentleman named Lou. Basically, one of the things that he suggested is start small. Start by paying off your electric bill. That's one of his examples. Pay your electric bill. So, and then when you're done paying your electric bill, he says, then you can add your electric bill and your cellular bill or your water bill, and so I just set up an account for savings. I set up an account for my kids for vacations and my kids, and I have a retirement account. And basically, when so I trade my main account, which pays my bills, and then
that's your one standard lot.
That's my one that I take money out all the time, and then the other one, I take it out and put it into slush fund money. Like parties or which I don't do, but if I Christmas or what have you, just fun money, fund.
Yes.
Okay, so that's how I've always done it. So it's a
silly question, but if you're as successful as you say you are, and I absolutely believe you, why do you not continue with the standard lots all the way through? Why do you diminish the lot value as you carry on trading?
It's I guess in my opinion it's a greed thing.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Okay, I don't need, if I'm happy making my my $500 a day.
Absolutely.
If I'm happy with my $200 to $300, I know what my monthly bill is. So my monthly bills are $4,000 a month. That's 25 pips a day. And I lock it in. I lock it in, and I know that my bills are paid. I don't even have to think about it. Then I can have fun and play and do whatever I want, and then that money is just different money. And sometimes I'll let the smaller lots run a little higher in my stop loss. You know, I test different things on those accounts, different trading styles and everything else. But in theory, this is how I do it, and this is it's the way I like to do it, whether it's right or wrong.
You're not using. There's no right or wrong. You're not using the 55, are you? On this for this.
The 55. The 55 is a big yellow line. That's something new that was just added. That you know, that I got from CS's room there. I mean, I think it's absolutely amazing, to tell you the truth. I never did use it before. I've always only ever used the 10, 30, and the 200. Always trading away.
CS uses the 50 and Pat uses the 55.
Yeah.
But effectively, they're the same sort of thing.
Yeah, so let's carry on here. So I have a signal here. All right, there's my signal. If the next candle breaks, I'm in the trade. It broke, and basically I'm out of the trade on that same candle. There's my entry, there's my exit there, boom. Okay. If I had missed taking my exit would have been over here, so I'd have been in that trade 10, 15 minutes. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you've obviously tested this to death, and you've tried for 6 pips, you've tried for 8 pips, and you've tried for 4 pips, and 3 to 5 seems to be the one that consistently works.
5 pips works, 8 pips works. I just like, I don't like the risk. You know, like personally, I just don't like. I would prefer to have the risk as possible. So therefore, if I can take 15, and I look at a lot of pair. So you know, all the pairs that you see at the bottom of my screen are the pairs that I trade every day. So I could be in a euro dollar, 15 times in 2 hours, or I could be in it once, but still, and then be looking at other pairs and doing the same thing.
Are all those pairs relatively low spread?
All except for the pound Aussie is a little high, and the pound Sheft is a little high. If it's more than 3 pips, I won't get into it. And if it is 3 pips, I'm going to wait for at least. So that means I'm looking for 6 or 8, because this is all after my spread. So if I'm looking,
actually you are looking for 5 because you've got to make the 2 to start with.
Yes. Yeah. The 3 to 5 are always my profit. Yeah. After my commission, after my spread. Okay, so let's look here. So we have an inside bar right here. Let's move this down, this channel. Come on, grab it.
It doesn't have to be an inside bar though that gives you the signal. It just has to be a break below the 10.
Well, inside bar gives me gives me its own signal. It gives me an alert that says it's an inside bar short on the euro dollar. Okay.
But it's not only an inside bar that you will trade from.
No, I will trade the signal bar, which is this one, or the inside bar, which is this one.
Yeah, either.
Okay. And this one here, which is an inside bar and a signal at the same time, is extremely powerful. And so is the outside bar with a signal. That's probably the only outside bar I'll take, is one that has a signal to it. Rarely will I ever take a outside bar. Just an inside bar.
Outside bar bad.
Yeah. So let's see here. Okay, so we had a break and a winner. There's your trade. There's the winner. So We have a, okay, so now we have another. Now I'm done by, if I stay here the whole day, which only happens probably once every few weeks, I will not trade past 11 o'clock in the morning my time, which is an hour before London close. I'm done by 11 no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's.
Well, that's when the momentum's gone.
Yeah. Well, there is momentum in the afternoon, and there is momentum in Asia, but only based on news and stuff of that nature. So therefore, yeah, I don't do it. So there's an inside bar here. Now it's in the squeeze, but it's not in. Sorry, the inside bar is in the squeeze, but I have an alert below the 10. So I will take that trade. There it is. And my stop loss on that trade, oops, would have been here. So I would have been very close to my stop loss. So I'm going to count that as a loss of 8 pips. All right, so one loss, 8. And we've got, I don't know who's keeping track, but I think I have 8 trades in here that are good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, and then we have another signal here. Well, we're cheating now. We know that we already know that that's a winner. This inside bar did not break, so therefore it's a no trade. All right, we have an outside bar here, but we don't trade outside bars. We have an inside bar here in the squeeze, in between the moving averages. Now the 10 is moving up, and the 30 is going flat, and so is the 55. So I'm looking at a change of trend. It looks like it might start to happen shortly here, because moving averages are starting to go together, and they're starting to flatten out. So I'd start getting leery of taking trades. Oops. Right. This inside bar is in the squeeze. I wouldn't have taken it. This signal bar I would have taken here. And there's my entry there. My stop loss is up here, which is 10 pips away. Boom, I'm in the trade, and it was a successful trade here. There's my entry. There's my exit. Am I moving too fast?
No, I'm just thinking.
I got to see if anybody else is posting any questions in here. Oh, no.
So you won't touch EU long until it's gone past the daily open?
At this point in time, I'm 86 pips away from it. I might entertain it if my moving averages at all crossed. So if it had crossed the 10 and the 30 and the 55 had crossed and started going long, I might entertain it, but more than likely not. No.
I suppose you've got so many pairs to choose from.
Yeah.
You can just move on to another pair that's going in the direction you wanted to.
Exactly. So I'm, like I said, I am always trading. I'm always trading with the trend. So
now coming on to this last bit of this, I'm trying to work out why there's no signal on those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red candles, 8 red candles.
Right. The reason there's no signal here is a signal only comes once the pullback has come above the 10 and then has closed below the 10. Then I get a signal. If you look here, you see all of these signal candles here. There's at least one blue candle above the 10 moving average. So these are above the 10 moving average. This one closed below it, gave me a signal. This is
so do you have to have a blue candle first?
You have to have well, it doesn't have to be blue, but it has to be above. It has to, for a signal candle to work, it has to close above the 10. You see here? Closed above the 10. If you look at this candle right here, these candles here, right here, this concession, those 3 candles, 1 candle, 2 candles, 3 candles. That candle there, that blue candle closed above my 10 moving average. The next candle closed below the 10 moving average, therefore giving me the signal to go short.
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a look at that. Now we're getting really close to London close, so and I keep that in mind. Okay, so you see there's no break, no trade. No break, no trade.
And in fact, it's going up.
Right, so I don't trade it. So I now have a signal here. There's my signal. See, all these candles went up. This candle come down, did not close. This red candle did not close below the 10. So therefore, that's not the signal. But this candle did close below the 10. So let's see. We'll move that over. F12. No break, no trade. No break, no trade. All right. We have inside bars up here in the squeeze. But like I said, my moving average is moving up. My 10 is moving up, my 30 is moving up, and the 55 is really flat. So I'm probably done looking at this pair for the day. Now I'm going to get a cross, and there's that's London close right there anyway. So let's move on. Let's keep going here. But so for an example, that was 9. If I had average of 4 pips on that, that's 38 minus my 8 that I lost. That's 30 pips on just that pair alone, trading this style.
So I'm just trying to work out how you could possibly flick from one pair to another all the time.
It takes practice. I mean, you've seen, I don't know if you've seen me post in the room, but I'll post, well, I don't know, I don't post it a lot in your guys' room, but in my room, I will post 4 or 5 trades right after I take them. They call me the Gatling gun because Is
this the room that Lou's in? Lou's room?
No. This is my own room, but
Okay.
Anyway, so let's move.
Lou? Can I just quickly? Does Lou use Do you use Lou's style? Is he a?
No.
He's not a scalper.
No. Oh yeah, yes,
Okay.
he does. He does scalp. Yes, he does scalp. I think he trades 1889, I believe. I don't, and he trades his system's different than mine, but he.
Yeah.
So let's go here. Whoops. Go back here and get that. I want to grab that before I lose it. Oh, big news candle there. And I keep an eye on news as well. All right, so so that's midnight. Right there, London Open. All right, so here I am. It's London Open here on the 6th. Again, so let's start anew. If you come in at London Open, basically you had a break here, no break on this candle, but you did on the next one. And we're cheating here because we've already see what's happening, so I'm not even going to look at that one. But we have a signal right here. Oops. Let's move this over. All right, right there, where there's our signal. If it breaks on the next candle, I'm in. It didn't break. I'm not in the trade. All right, so this is normally where I come in now. around Tokyo, a little after Tokyo close. I'm looking for signal bars and inside bars with trend. Right now the trend is changed here, so I wouldn't be looking at any of these candles here. It's broke below here. That's an inside bar. I still probably wouldn't take this trade because it's just not it's the moving averages aren't far enough apart. Do you start to trade at London Open or I start trading at just after Tokyo close, about a half an hour after Tokyo close. So London opens 3, so 4:30, between 4:30 and 5 o'clock is normally when I'm in trading. All right, so let's just keep going here. We have an inside bar here, but no break. See, all of this is all too tight for me to, I probably wouldn't be trading in here because it's all going sideways here. The moving averages are not giving me any kind of concrete direction.
No divergence.
No divergence there. So basically,
no divergence, no pips.
No. Okay, so here we had a long signal here. Moving averages are all long. There's a long. So if the next one goes, we can go take it. It didn't go. So New York Open, we have a big. There's a big news candle. So I'm waiting for the market to settle down here. It's just way too busy. Way too busy. All right. I have no solid indication of what way the market's going to go here. It's hovering around the 200. It's bouncing. It's going up and down in this area, right around the daily open. The moving averages are all still extremely tight together. So
presumably at this point, you just wouldn't be looking at EU at all.
Well, every time I would get the alert, I would take a quick look at it. But yeah, normally I wouldn't. When I flip through my pairs, because I know exactly what I'm looking for. Let me just see if I can do this really quickly and then come back to it. And it'll still be there. Yeah, it will. So I can go through and look at my pairs really quickly and know what I'm looking for. So I can see what I'm looking for really quickly. I can see the trend that I have. I have 6 monitors here, so I can see exactly what I'm looking for. But you can do this on 1 monitor, 2 monitors, doesn't matter. So, we're looking at, everything is upside down.
What do you have on the 6 monitors?
Well, I have chat, news on chat on 1, news on 1, my terminal, and market watch clock on 1, and normally I'll take these charts like this, and I can actually have one just with 5-minute on and the other one's on another monitor. So, but
actually, you said at the beginning that you use you have different windows there. So you've got a 15 and a 30 and a 4-hour window.
Yeah.
If you're just trading 5, what's the point? And the signals are on the 5. What's the point of the other windows?
Well, because on the 15-minute, for an example here, is I know that there's going to be some resistance, in and around this level here. So I'm looking for, support and resistance on a higher time frames, to correlate with the with what I'm trading on the 5-minute. So for an example, if I'm looking at a 4-hour and I see here on the 4-hour that that it's come to a resistance level, and it's looking like it's going, my moving averages are long. Well, but my 4 hour says, well, you've really reached the top of that, and I'm going to be banging on this wall for a while. I won't trade it.
Yeah.
All right, because it could very easily turn around. Right, so basically, I quickly can go through all my pairs. I can go through all 18 pairs in under a minute because I know what I'm looking for. I'm only looking for two things. I'm looking for signal bars and inside bars. Signal bars and inside bars. And then when I get at one of those, am I with trend? And I can look at all of my screens really quickly and make the decision whether or not I actually want to be in the trade or not. All right, so I'm not trading any of this.
Looking at that screen, there isn't a huge trend. It's ranging.
It's ranging, so I'm not even bothering with it. I don't want to take the risk.
It's ranging. It's going. Yeah.
All right. I don't want to take the risk. So the EU probably would not have got a lot of my trades. Now here is an example. You see, and over here, all my moving averages are really tight, but now my moving averages are starting to separate. So I would start looking at longs here, except it's getting so close to the end of the day. Of my trading, would I take it? So let's look at this inside bar that's right here. All right, we could have opportunity on that inside bar. Oh, come on. Signal. It wasn't that one. It was that one there. See that? No, it wasn't that one. We have another F12. No, we have right there. All right, that's where we were just looking. So there's if it breaks that, moving averages are all starting to point at 1 o'clock. So they're all kind of looking like they're going upwards. So let's see what happens. Boom. There's an inside bar. All my moving averages are separating and they're all not going sideways. They're all pointing upwards. No, Mark, I've taken the 4 off my charts. All right. So, and again, at this point in time, I wouldn't be in the trade. So, because it's at lunchtime. So let's move to another day here on this pair. So we didn't get to trade the euro dollar, but maybe one trade on the 6th. And I can actually quickly take a quick look here. Euro dollar. No, I did not take one trade on the euro dollar on the 6th.
Do you know how many trades you took on the 6th?
I took, let me just quickly look at it. I have it written in my journal. I took 28 trades that day. And I was only here from 5:30 till 7:30.
And how many losses?
One.
That's pretty good going to me.
I've had, this week I've had 3 losses all week. I think I've posted them all too. Let's see here, where are we at? Oh, refresh. Let me go back and grab my thing here. I got to find a different way of doing this, grabbing this channel. I didn't used to use the channel before, but it gives a better, it kind of gives a good perspective of the entry and the exit. For when I do my, because I will go and look at my own trades quite often. I'll put them on my charts and then go and look at them afterwards. No, wouldn't let me do that. All right, so there's midnight coming up. This was on the 7th. I actually had quite a few trades on the 7th. Okay, London Open. All right, so, and quite frankly, if I look at all my trades, I probably trade 80% shorts and maybe 20-25%, like in that area, 80-20 shorts versus longs. All right, so here we have roughly when I'd be getting into the market. I'd take a quick look at the euro, see what is it doing? Is it going, what direction is it going in overall? So on the higher time frames, where is it going? That's what I would look at. I don't want to cheat and look at it now because it would kind of give it away. So there's a question that was just posted. Let's take a look at this. It says, do you have more losing streaks depending on the current market condition? For example, for 2 to 3 months, you can have more losses than other times. You have better win-loss ratio depending on the market conditions. Well, I want to say no, for the simple fact that really a market condition is, if it's sideways, you stay out of the market. If there's not a clear direction of trend, stay out of the market. I have had a couple of days where I had a couple of losing days last year. I think I had 4 of them in a row actually, and but I was trading under stress because I had other things going on in my life, and when you're in that kind of a space, you should never trade. And
having said that, your signals are, you say, very clear. So what would have gone wrong there? Would you have gone against your own plan?
Yeah. Yes. I would take trades before they were ready. I would, I would say, oh, that looks like it's gonna give me a signal, so I would take the trade. Just like emotions. Emotions can play a. If you follow the rules, then
You win.
You win. If you don't follow the rules, then you can get hurt, and you can get hurt. You can get hurt badly. There's a couple of times in the past where I've taken trades and not followed my stop loss because I assumed that it was going to go in, come back, and it would go huge pips against me, and I would finally just say, you know what, I've had enough, and close it out. And then I would try and because I had lost a few times, I would try different things to try and get that money back. So my rule is very simple. If I have 3 losers in a day, I stop trading for the day, plain and simple. If the pair is ranging, I don't trade it. If there's not a clear direction of trend, I don't trade it. You know, there has the market just has to be moving in the right direction.
Sounds good to me. At the top of the screen there, is that an inside bar? I can't really tell with all the writing.
The question was, okay, here's 1 second there. The question is, what if the system was strictly followed by its rules? It's very high win rate compared to the loss. But again, a lot of people have, oh well, if it's going to go 3, maybe I can go 8, and then it goes against them. Oh, I could have had that 5, and I missed it. Next thing you know, it went 15 against you. It happens. People, well, I think it'll go 10, and it only, and it goes 7. No, I think I'm going to hold on for another 3, and next thing you know, it goes against you 15 or 20. But yeah, if you follow the rules, if you build yourself, and this is just not my system, I mean, this is any system. If you build yourself a system and you follow the rules and you've tested it, and tested it and tested it, and it's, and you've got your rules concrete, if you break them, then you have nobody to blame but yourself. Anyways, at the top of the screen, you're saying?
Is that an inside bar at the very, very right-hand side?
This is an inside bar, correct. So I am going to put my...
It hasn't broken the 10.
It's above the 10.
Yeah, it's above the 10.
Yeah, but it's an inside bar.
Yeah.
So if this next candle breaks above that, I will take it long. And it did, and it gave me profit on the very next candle, right there. I'm in and I'm out on that candle. Do you see it?
Sort of. It's a bit
okay.
murky.
Well, I'll move it over. I'll move it over. I'll move it over. You'll see it there. Okay. So there's my entry. There's my signal. My next candle, there's my entry, and there's my exit right here, this candle for long. So my entry is on this candle. My exit's on this candle. Now, I do take into consideration, the one thing that I haven't mentioned in here, I take into consideration all the big numbers. So take into consideration zeros, 25, 70, 50, and 75. If they are bouncing around those numbers or coming to them, I won't take the trade. If they've broken the numbers and I get a signal, I will take the trade. If that makes sense. Yep. Okay.
No, very much so.
Okay.
And if it's bouncing around, you just move to a different pair.
Exactly. So we have an inside bar here in the squeeze and then an outside bar right there, but they're in the squeeze. What I call is in between the two moving averages. So I won't take that trade. Okay, we have an inside bar again in the squeeze. So there's some consolidation going on there. So I'm going to look at, I'm going to put my cursor on. I'm going to find out where there's some resistance and where there's some support, on this trade, and I'm going to watch for it. And I'm going to say, okay, well, I don't have a clear enough direction on this consolidation. It only takes 3 bars to make a consolidation. So I'm going to look at that and I'm going to say, okay, I'll wait. Okay. I don't have a clear answer yet. I'm looking for long, so I don't want to go short. I now have another inside bar. Again, it's still in the squeeze, so I'm not interested in it. I don't want to sit in a trade for an hour. And there you go. It's a good reason not to get into that trade. All right, boom. Now I can get into this trade. I have a signal bar right here. All right, my moving averages are coming together, but it's been a pretty steady climb up, and we're at a 50 right there. We're going to break the 50 right there. All right, so if that candle breaks, I'm going to take that trade long. It broke. There it is. It broke. So let's just move it over real quickly. That's that one. So let me just move my thing over here. There it is there. Okay, it broke. And boom, there it is. It's a winner. I'll move it forward a little bit so we can get, I should just delete that while I'm doing these. Again, I don't do a lot of longs, so, but you can see it. It was there. I'll move it over here. Channel. Oops. Grab the channel. Come on. There we are. All right, so there would be the entry right here on this candle. My stop loss. Now this swing low hadn't been created yet, so my stop loss would be down here. There's my entry. You know, that's too far for me, so I'm going to look at the next bit of consolidation, which is going to be right around here. So, you know, my stop loss would be roughly 10 pips or so. Because you see here, there's where I would be looking at. Because I don't really want to go 20 pips, because then I got to take 4 trades, 5 trades to get that back. And I don't like to.
You don't have a strict, let's say, 10 pip policy.
I don't because of swings. An average swing is anywhere between you know, 20 and 30, an average swing. So I'm comfortable with 15. And it depends on where the big number is and where I'm at in the trade as to what I'll actually put as a fixed stop loss. I think I had a stop loss yesterday, and I think I posted it. It was 9, and then I had another one that was 6, but it was on the Aussie New Zealand, and I don't trade that pair too often, so I kept a very tight stop loss on that one. Here we'd had after Tokyo closed, we had 1 winner, no trade, 2 winners, 3 winners, no trade, no trade, no trade, 4 winners, and we're at New York. No losers in here yet. We have a signal here, but it didn't break, so it's a no trade. We have a signal to go down here because we have a cross now. So this is telling me we're starting to get into some consolidation. So I'm not interested. I now have.
Can I just take you back? Can I take you back?
Yeah.
To the grey square 2 inches to your left, and then there's a bigger square above it. No, sorry, up. That's it.
Yeah.
The candle with the it's an outside bar.
This one?
The outside, yeah.
It's an outside bar.
It's broken the 10.
Right.
South.
Counter trend. Counter trend. Because my 10 and my 30 are long. Everything is looking long here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. I was trying to work out why it wasn't a trade. That's because it's a cash trend. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Let's see if there's any other questions.
And of course, it shouldn't be a short because it's above the daily open.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oops. Seeing if there's any other lines. Anybody else have any questions? I'm probably a little bit rusty at doing these webinars because I haven't done one probably for 4 or 5 months. I used to do them every week, and then I stopped doing
You're
them.
doing very well.
I'm not a rehearsed webinarist. Let's put it that way. All right, so do you want to look at a different pair, or you guys get the idea of the system, the setup that I do? I trade. I love scalping, plain and simple. I can get in and I can get out of every trade with a limited amount of risk. A lot of people like, higher time frames. Well, higher time frames to me means higher. You may have higher potential, but you have also higher stop losses for consideration on a 4-hour or what have you. So to me, it's I like to make my money, and I'd like to know that
It works.
I'd like to know that it's in the bank.
It works. I mean, what's not to like?
Right. So I mean, I can go to another pair. Like, let's go to the Aussie dollar for an example. The Aussie's been a really different. It's been a good trending pair for trading. All right, so let's go to here we are, London Open. Got a signal to go short here. Let's make my channel thing. Actually, I'm not going to bother with the channel thing. I'll just mark it. All right, so I'm not in yet. I'm in now looking here. This is Tokyo. So I missed that trade, but all right, so that's about half an hour there. So now I'm looking for shorts. There's the daily open.
Yeah.
I'm looking for shorts. All my moving averages are nicely widely spread apart. All right, everything's below the 200, the 55, my 30 and my 10. There's an inside bar. It's in the squeeze. Okay. Let's draw a little line here. All right. That bar breaks, I'm in the trade. Now it's in the squeeze, so it's a little bit more risky. No trade. But now I have a signal on this one here. So so we won't count that trade then. We'll go down to that signal. There's our entry right there. If it breaks, we're in the trade. It has not broke, but we have an inside bar, so we can move our entry up just a little bit for that inside bar. All right, so boom, we're in the trade. Now our stop loss on this trade is that swing high there. That's 15 pips. If it, so I'd be comfortable with that swing high right there, 15 pips. I'm also comfortable with this resistance here of 10 pips. This swing, this right here. All right, so I'm in the trade. It hasn't broke. All right. All right, I lost that trade. Oops. So that would have been a 15 pip loser because there's there's 1.5 there. So I'd have lost that trade. Let's carry on. Everything's upside down. We are at New York Open here. Yep. I have an inside bar here. And you got your 3 to 5 on that inside bar. Because again, your trend is now, because that was a big pullback. So I lost that one, but I made the next one. And I have a signal bar there, so let's move that over to that signal bar. No entry, no entry, no trade. All your moving averages are getting tighter together. Now their moving averages are upside down. So I'm really not looking at that one.
An inside bar doesn't need to be anywhere near the 10, does it? It doesn't need to cross the 10.
No, no. It just has to be in direction of trend.
It's just an inside bar.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just an inside bar, and if it's with trend is what you care about. That's all you really care about is with trend. All right. All right. So I have an inside bar here.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. There you are. It was a winner. So we had one loss of 15, and now we had two winners of, we're going to say, let's just say 3. So we're down to -9. I have a signal here. No break, no trade. I have another signal here, and my moving averages are starting to point downward. I don't emphasize it a lot, but you should really try and see where that 5 minute, where it's pointing. You know, when is it pointing at, so right now it's pointing at about, I'd say 3:30ish. And the 30 is pointing at about 4 o'clock. And if you really take a look at the 10, when you blow it up, you'll see the 10's probably pointing at about 4:30ish. There's a big loop there, and then it starts pointing down. So I'm going to be interested in this trade. I'm going to probably take it. If it breaks, I'll take it. It didn't break. Boom, there it is. And do I have my 3 to 5 on that one? There's 2.5. There it is, done. So that's -6. And I'm done that pair for the day. So on the Aussie dollar, I had only had 4 trades on the Aussie dollar on the 6th. One was a loser, and the other 3 were winners. So, but
do you have a pair that pay you the most?
The euro dollar, the pound dollar, the CAD yen is in the top 60% of the pairs that I trade, and the New Zealand dollar. The New Zealand dollar moves from big number to big number without hesitation. Every single almost. So sorry. So your stop loss can be 15 pips. With your take profit can be 3 to 5. Yes, it can be. But like I said, out of 28, let me look here. 34. That's 14. Out of 94 trades that I took this week, I had 3 losers, and that was 9, 6, and let me go back here and look. 7. So
It's about 270 pips.
yeah.
That's not bad.
So we have an inside bar, or I have an outside bar here. All right. We have an inside bar here. No break, no trade yet. You know, this system, just so everybody else in here knows, this system's not the simplest system in the world to use. You have to have discipline. Kurt uses it. He has discipline. It's taken him almost a year to get it. 2 or 3 other people in my room that, you know, there's only a very small handful, and I've had probably about 300 or 400 people that I've tried to teach this to, and not everybody gets it, because the what if? Oh well, if I'd held on to that, you know, like oh well, I could have went longer, or they enter in different, or they'll add things to it. And I mean, I'm guilty of that too. I'll add things to it too. I was like, oh, somebody else will show me something, some cool oscillator or something, and then all of a sudden I'll throw that on there, and then next thing you know, I've got my results suck. You know, it's you know, I never look back. When I take my 3 pips or I take my 5 pips, I never look back. I never look back. Take them, be happy you got them. It's money in the bank. You know, like a lot of people, oh, you know, you could have stayed in that trade, Dave, and you could have got 16 pips out of that trade. Well,
it's easy to say that when you're looking at a chart from yesterday.
exactly. You know, well, you know what? I probably could have taken that, but I've also could have been, you know, a 1-to-1 ratio. I could have been 15 pips lost to 15 pips gain, and then I've got nothing to show for the day, right? So
Yeah.
you know, like
Just where you are now, if you go 1, 2, 3, 4 candles back,
yes, this one here.
there's a little red candle there next to that candle on the left.
This one, yes.
Why isn't that inside bar? It's
Go.
inside.
No, let's take a look here, because the low on this candle here was 705.98, and the low on that one is exactly the same. So they close the same.
Okay.
So it's not. But now this would be what I would consider what I call a continuation trade. But I don't want to get into that, because I do have one other style that I add in once in a while. But let's keep it simple. Here's an inside bar. There's a break of that inside bar. Oh, we're at London close, so we're not even in trading mode here. But still, it was there. That was a success. But let's move on to the next day. I can delete that. Move on here. Can I? Who is that? Could you please touch? Sure, I can. I'll touch on the stochastics and that as well, because that's kind of what. Let's refresh here. Midnight. All right. Okay, here's an inside bar here. It's off the 200. Okay, here we are. Let's go to Tokyo. You see here, if everything is in line here, and when I was first teaching the people that wanted to really learn this, I said they had to make sure everything was in order. But the problem is that not every time it's always in order. So your stochastics has to be um, have turned. It was the pulling up and going blue, and then it turned red and crossed over. And turn red. So I have a colored stochastics, and you can get them anywhere. They're available all over the internet. And if I had a signal here, let's move this back one. Go back one. All right. So my stochastics pulled up. It was up near the top, and overbought territory. I had a cross and a sell signal. All right. I would take that short. My stochastics is suggesting exactly the same thing. All right. Stochastics is not always correct. Everything is a lagging indicator, everything that you have here. So, here it is again at the very top. Everything's looking red. There's a short signal here. All my moving averages are pointing at 3 o'clock here, 3:30 here, almost 5 o'clock on the 10. If this breaks short, I'm going to go into that trade there. Let me just mark it. There we are. All right, I'm going to go into it there. Stochastics and my MACD are saying are confirmation. They're just confirming that it's a good trade, and it was a good trade. Boom, there it is. Had my 3 to 5. Let's see. Yep, got my 3 right there and got out. All right.
When you say you get an indicator, what is the indicator? Is it a ping, or is it a?
Well, I've had a couple of indicators built for me. It's an alert. All right, so I have the plan, which is mine. It's an alert. So if I look at my indicator list, oops. So I have the plan, which is one of my indicators. Basically, it tells me, it's the 10 moving average, and it's an EMA, and it has to be in line with the 30 moving average, which again is an EMA, and it's going to give me a trigger for 3 pips, 3 candles. It's going to give me, so it puts that line that you see on there, and it's offset by 3, and then I have what's called the wiggle, which is the last 45 minutes of the hourly trading period that are all marked out with these yellow lines that I have here. I'm not going to get into why I got them in there right now, but then and then there's my inside outside bar, basically, and these give me I don't have any of them on because the market's closed. I would drag it over. I can't force it to happen, but it would give me an alert. It would ping me, and it would then put up a box that said you have a inside bar short on the Aussie dollar or the euro dollar. And if it's on the euro dollar, then I can quickly click on the euro dollar and say, oh yeah, there's my inside bar, or what have you. Okay. Do I trade during fundamental news? No. I don't trade. I don't trade big news. I don't trade
Red news.
red news. whatsoever. You know, I have Squawk Box and two different news feeds on here all the time. So it's not. No, I'm not too worried about the China meltdown. I mean, again, if the yens are in trend going short and I get a signal, I'm going to take it. You know, plain and simple. You know, don't read too much into it.
It's a very simple system.
Yeah.
In a complicated way, it's simple.
It's only complicated if you make it complicated.
Get in, get out.
Get in, get out. Whip it in, whip it out, wipe it off. You know, don't look back. You know, you know, it's pretty much that simple.